Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Across the Table podcast. We're back after a little while. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. I am your host, Jordan, also your hope, and to my left
Josiah.
Jed.
Lore Master.
Fudi.
Yeah, and we're all happy to be back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Well, I mean, three of us haven't been gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've been here.
we've
We're
been
waiting
here.
for you.
Well,
shut up.
there's been
I was
some
busy.
We've been
reformatting
keeping
of
it
our
fresh
podcast.
for you guys.
We decided that we were going to casual this one up a little bit.
That's
And
why I'm wearing
That's
a
why
t-shirt.
we're all
Be here
naked
for long.
underneath the table.
yeah, we
That
don't wear
too.
pants.
I am not
I
wearing
made
that's
myself
right.
sad now.
Why?
Won't be here for long.
What?
What?
Unless
Just-
you get the job.
Just get a job.
Just get a job.
Just get a
Get
job.
a job.
Here, I can get you a
Get
job
a
at
job.
Geico.
I can get you. I can get you a job at. I can get you a job at Hutsa.
All right, Jed, stop.
Hudson.
What is that?
I
Okay.
don't know.
Anyway.
I'm tired.
copyright
Yeah, our
suck.
podcast is recently split in two, and we have the Beyond the Table podcast featuring
It's like
Fudi as the
Siamese twins.
host and Lore Master and Josiah, and they
That's
talk
not the host.
Did we
about
secede
video
from this
games
podcast?
because
We do.
We just made our
I
own.
don't know about video
news.
games.
Yeah, that has been established.
We
Yes.
seceded.
On this video
multiple
game
podcasts.
channel that Jordan started.
Yeah.
Technically,
Technically,
nothing.
Fudi, Jed, and I all started it together. So
All right. Well, you were one of the starters.
yes,
Does anybody think my pizza's precariously sitting on the edge there?
yes, but
It won't
you're on your
fall.
safety
It's
post.
It's
so there's nothing you can
been
do about
sitting
it.
Can't
there
leave
for
the
like
safety
the past
foam,
10
otherwise
minutes.
everybody's safety is in jeopardy.
Yes. Okay, so let's
We can
get
duct tape your
started.
butt.
Die.
So, we have reformatted the. However, we're gonna do this a little bit. There's a word that I had that I lost it.
Reformatted
we're
the across
so
the
good at
table
this.
We've
podcast.
reformatted
This is a
this
fantastic
format
start.
for
We've
format.
yes, format. We reformatted
Very good.
this, and so we're gonna give
Thank
this a
you.
little try and
Now
see how it
don't you
goes.
feel
Let us know
special?
how you think, and if you don't like it, then shut up, because we're gonna keep doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
just
But let us know
insult the
anyway.
audience
But
right
let
off
us
the
know
bat.
anyway.
We can
You
laugh
don't like
at your
it? Like the
comments.
shut up? This is your decision.
Yeah. We'll do what we can to make you guys happy because we're all
I have to beat
prostitutes on the internet.
No.
I don't think it's a swear.
I didn't hear
Like
what you
the
said.
phrase. No. I
What?
said shut up.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something
It
else.
really sounds like you're saying all
Well,
of
at this
up.
point, you're expecting it from everybody else.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start off today, and I have a question for you guys, and we're just gonna kind of run through these and start a conversation a little bit.
What's your question,
What's
Jordan?
my question,
I don't
Josiah?
know what it is.
I want to know what your favorite game is. I want to know all four of you.
Well, you have to.
I'm
go
gonna-
You
through
have
it.
to answer this too.
Yeah.
I'll go as well.
You can't skip out of this,
What
Skippy
are
boy.
the three games that you have the most emotional connection to? Because this doesn't have to be your favorite game per se. I mean, it could be, but what are three games that you took the most away from, whether it be like an emotional attachment to a character or something that you'd never seen before that really developed what you like in video games today? I'll go ahead and say, for me, one of my favorite games of all time is Halo. And in general, just the Halo series, 1, 2, and 3. Oh my gosh. I know some people don't like it. Lots of people do. I don't even really like first-person shooters, but I had such an emotional attachment to the character of Master Chief because that was my childhood. I grew up playing that game, and I loved it, and I love the story. I think it's awesome. And so that has really developed what I like even in science fiction now, just kind of action-wise, character-wise. It's pretty cool. So, Fudi, you look like you have something on your face, so I'll let you go ahead.
I
And go
gotta
first.
pare down it to 3. Give me a second. Go to someone
Like,
else.
it's called skin.
It's called. You got some skin on your face
Eyeballs
there,
and
Fudi.
hair and
Yeah.
nose,
Yeah.
lips, and glasses.
Keep
It
going
doesn't-
down the line.
I was at a film shoot this morning, and
Were you? Were you at
one
a
of the
film
people that I was shooting with a camera, not a gun,
Good.
was she
'Cause
was
if I was there-
she was asking me whether she should wear a tank top or like a long sleeve shirt. And I said, well, whatever you're most comfortable in. She says, I feel like I have too much flesh on my arms, so I'm going to go with the long sleeve shirt. I was like, I would be concerned if you didn't have flesh on your arms.
You come the next day and she's just ripped off all her
Yeah,
legs.
she doesn't even have
Just
arms
come-
anymore.
She's
She,
just a
uh,
skeleton.
Yeah.
She had a run-in with
Hey.
a B-movie villain. and just
Yeah.
comes in, no flesh on her arms.
She's
Oh,
playing
man.
Mortal Kombat or something.
Mortal Kombat.
Huh.
So, who wants to go first?
You already went.
I
You-
know.
so you have
but
Who
to
wants to
finish.
go second?
I lead the conversation.
You have
Oh.
to finish
Lead by
though. You
example.
only get
You only
one.
listed one.
Oh, I want you guys.
Yeah,
to,
we're not gonna do everybody does all theirs at one time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, really?
that's
Yeah, we're-
definitely a change in format.
Yeah, we're just conversating, Jed. We're
Got it.
conversating.
I understand what
You could say that we're having.
I have 2 of my 3 unlocked. It's the third
In-
one. I'm
Okay,
trying
we'll
to
just start off with one.
In
so
the-
other people
Just
can.
give us one.
Yeah.
Uno.
In the archaic terminology, we're having intercourse.
We're having olives.
No,
Oh,
look it up.
one.
I urge our
if you
viewers
yell
to
in
look
the
it up.
mic again, I will kill you.
Oh, he said intercourse.
And you just said it again. Congratulations.
Intercourse.
It's not a bad
Sexual
word.
conduct.
No, it is not a bad word. Look it
That's
up.
not a bad word. I was just thinking about 9-course meals, and I'm really hungry right now.
Move
Wait,
on, jeez.
Why
Fudi,
9?
please
What from that
say
gave you
again.
9?
Begging you.
Meals.
So
9 specifically.
Maybe 6.
So this goes back to the old SNES, the SNES system. It's still one of my favorite games actually, which is weird because it's 16-bit style. The graphics, no comparison to what we have today, but in my opinion, one of the greatest Final Fantasy game of all time and one of the greatest RPGs ever made
7, right?
was Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, one off.
I knew what he was. Gonna
But in the
say.
States, it was
Yeah,
released as
I
Final
think-
Fantasy III. And you play through. It's got an amazing story arc. It's got great characters. It's got, considering it's a 16-bit game, the music's incredible. And there's an organization called OC Remix, and they take game music and remix them. And they did an entire 4 CD album of remastering the song, and I think they got a full orchestra to do a couple of the pieces, and it's just incredible.
That's awesome.
But the story's amazing, and you play through the game, and you get to what you later learn. Spoilers. What you later learn is the midpoint, but you've played so long, you think you're at the end boss of the game, and you're like, nope, you're only halfway through, and then it gets real.
So that's where Far Cry got that from.
Yeah, probably.
Not all Final Fantasy games, but I've noticed that a lot of them do, because I'm a pretty big Final Fantasy fan as well. Like there's the midway point where you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the end because you're fighting the final boss, and you're like, nope, I still got a whole lot to go. That's how it was for me in Final Fantasy X. Like there were so many times where I was like, oh, this is gonna be the end of the game. No, there's more. There's so much more.
You make that sound like it was difficult because there was more.
Yeah, you
not
sounded
like you wanted
disappointed about
yeah.
it.
Like,
I love the
"Oh,
Final
there
Fantasy
was
games.
more."
There's
Well,
so much.
I mean, it was, you would get like super hyped up about like, oh, I'm about to beat the game, and there's that feeling that you expect, like
Yeah.
when you beat a game,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, oh my gosh, there's more.
Yeah, that feeling you get when you're expecting. You know about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Josiah,
Okay,
thanks.
keep going.
So, like to this day, I will happily play that game. Bad graphics and all. However, do not get it for the iOS because the controls are pretty janky.
Yeah,
and
I bought it because I wanted to impress Fudi.
I know, and
And
I think
it
there's
was
there's a
awful.
game breaking bug like
Well, that backfired,
16
didn't it?
hours in or something where it just stops working.
Perfect.
Yeah, and why would you want to play a multiple, probably 100-hour game on an
Just
iOS
get an emulator for your
Well,
computer.
the question there is why
No,
would
we
you want
don't-
to play
we would
hundreds of
never tell
hours of a
anyone to do that.
game on iOS?
No.
Period.
Question is, why would you want to play anything?
I
on
don't know,
an
man. I
iOS
played a
at
lot
all?
of Sonic Dash.
But I mean,
played
you can get it from the
a lot.
Nintendo eShop.
I played a
That is
lot
true.
of
Yeah.
what's that
That's
one
very
game
true.
that came out that
Got
was
the
this
3DS.
run thing?
All right, sorry, go.
Temple Run.
Temple Run.
The one that started all
I
of
did,
those
Run
run
in
I
games?
the
did
name.
really good at that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that one of your games,
No,
Jed?
it's not.
All
Way
right.
to
Is someone
accomplish
else doing? Am I
things.
doing another one or is someone else going?
I'll go with my first.
Go for it.
My first love game. It's not a love game. Well, really any
Is it a
flight.
dating
Any,
simulator?
no.
Is this going to be an inappropriate
I don't want
game?
to hear about this.
Is it Catherine?
Oh no!
It's not Catherine. It's
First
really
love
any
game.
flight sim. The first flight sim I played was Flight Simulator 95, and I remember I was
Did
like,
it come with Windows
I was
95?
like, it did not come with it, but it was made for it.
That's really old.
That was the first one I played. The next one I remember
I
playing
was
after that
just
was Flight
wee
Simulator
lad.
2004. It was a long time before I got another Flight Sim. Of course, I was born in '95, so no, I didn't come out playing Flight Sim '95.
That would have been painful.
That would have been painful. That's a
They
big
just
honky
stick
computer.
you on the keyboard.
No, but I played that, when I was like 2, 3, 4. My dad let me play that.
You look
Why
like
my
you're in a
dad had it,
constant-
I don't really know. He's not the Flight Sim kind
You
of
look
guy.
you're in a constant state of disappointment.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm just monitoring.
But
right now.
and then I had Flight Simulator 2004, and then I moved on to Combat Flight Simulators, which is why I love War Thunder so much. So that
He's an addict.
I
He is
love
an addict.
flying. I've flown real planes in real life before.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Because I remember, I think it was Flight Sim 2004 supported both stick and yoke and the foot pedals. Did you have all that?
No.
Okay.
I just had a joystick like I had over there, literally, basically an earlier model of that.
Because
That's all I had.
Eventually, if the channel does take off really well, we'll end up getting.
If
Jed,
War
like, a
Thunder ever
full,
fixes
like,
the freaking simulator
everything.
tutorial mission, yeah,
we'll get him
Yeah.
an airplane cockpit and wiring into War Thunder
There you go.
I
And
want.
that's what
I
he'll be
really
sitting
want an
in for the
Oculus Rift for
podcast.
that
for the
game.
rest of his life.
Yeah.
The rest of his
So
life.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
we'll
was
just
just.
put
We'll
him in it
wire
and
in
lock
some
it.
life
If you want to
support
get married
into
to
it,
Jed,
you
you're
just
gonna
stay
have to
there his
deal
whole
with
life.
that.
So yeah, that was my first gaming.
Game.
Yeah, it was my first thing that I really got
Influential
hooked into.
game?
It was the first influential game. It was,
Gotcha.
and they're not even really games. They're simulators. The first one that was actually a game was Combat Flight Simulator. It had a little bit of a story to it, and that came a lot later. But I would always fly like in Flight Simulator 2004. They had the stunt planes, like the extra 300. I would fly those like they were combat planes. Pretending to do maneuvers like Immelmans and all those stuff. So
there's a bit of an irony that your first influential loved game is a simulator.
yeah, especially considering the series we got
And
going
now
on
the
right now.
bane of your existence.
Well, I have Flight Simulator X that I will be doing for that show, which is the only flight simulator that came out that I really wanted it, but the computer I had at the time could not run it. But I have it now. I have yet to play it, so that'll be a fun experience
Oh
for me.
boy.
We'll hang on to that one.
We'll hang on to that one. That'll be the last one.
After you've gone through so many bad ones and you just need a bright spot, we'll let you play that one.
It'll be the
Flight
last
Simulator.
episode.
So yeah, that's me.
Alright,
I
so-
tagged Josiah.
So when I was a wee baby boy, just in kindergarten, I remember maybe I had played something on the computer before then, but this is the first like real memory I have. I was just in some dude's basement, a guy that worked with my dad.
Okay, I was gonna
not just
say some dude's basement.
You're in some dude's basement. Is that?
he
Uncle
came up and
Chad.
he
You
was
can
like,
talk to us,
"Hey,
Josiah. It's okay.
you want to play some games?"
You're
I was like,
well,
"Yeah."
see, now he is in a basement again.
Look at that. You're
Yeah,
in some
look-
dude's
look,
basement.
here we
Studio
go.
basement.
Specifically, these three dudes'
But
basement.
it was this
Top
this
floor
guy that
penthouse.
works with my dad, and he was like, "Hey, I got video games. Your kid looks bored. Does he want to play?" And my dad was like, "Sure, why not?" And I played some Super Mario World.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
There it is.
It was just like a couple months after that, my parents were like, "Well, here's your first Game Boy Advance. Here's
Oh
some
my
games
God.
for
I have a
it."
story about how long it took me to get my first console.
So anytime,
Here's your first Game Boy Advance, you youths.
here you go. Yeah,
That's not what I started with.
with the backlit screen and everything.
This made me think of a question really quick. What was everyone's first game system?
Atari
Game Boy
2600.
Advance.
Game Boy Color.
Actually, no.
Xbox 360.
It was not an Atari.
Dang, dude.
was
I got
not-
in really late. Well, technically PC.
It was not an
What?
Atari 2600. It was an Atari 800 XL, which was the computer station that had the game cartridge plug-in.
Mine was a bit
Actually,
wonky. I
technically
got the
PlayStation
Game
1,
Boy
I'm
Color
sorry.
and then a Sega
I
Genesis.
forgive you.
Mine was
And
a-
Jed, actually, one of my very early games was the Micropose World War II flight combat simulator, which was like basically pixels, and you had to shoot pixels
Dude,
at the
I
other
played
pixels.
games like that too, and I had a good time.
They
doing
were
it.
so fun.
Mine was the N64.
I hate you guys so much.
Why do you hate us?
You youngins.
My
Actually,
Game
no,
Boy was
mine was
one
the
generation
SNES.
off the original
I-
Game Boy.
Mine was SNES.
Like, I look at the industry today, and I'm just blown away because I remember, people jokingly refer to, old school gamers with the Atari or, the pixel art from the really early computer games, and that's what I grew up with. Like, I've been there as the industry has grown from that to, what we have today, where it's like watching a movie.
And now they want
playing a
money.
movie.
Yeah.
They wanted money back then.
But now they're not going to make a good product to get the money.
I mean, comparably to trust me, the product you guys have now, even the crappy ones, are so much better than what we had back then.
Well, at least we have a lot of reviewers now too.
Yeah.
You're not taking as much of a chance buying a game now as you would just looking into the bargain bin or looking on the shelf of a store.
Speaking of the bargain bin, you should check out on our second channel,
Are we
Beyond the
segueing
Blue
into
Cup,
that?
Fudi's fantastic bargain
That
bin
was
in
a
which
good
I will
segue. Set 'em up
I
for
like
review
it.
cheap
I watch
games.
it.
That's 'cause I
enjoy
support
it.
Fudi.
It's good.
Thumbs up.
Chris,
Sorry.
So,
You're
okay,
right.
just to finish, like, so anytime I sit
still.
down and play a Mario game, I have a good time. I
Yeah.
love Mario. It's fun for me. I'm not Jed.
I hate Mario.
Jed hates
The
Mario.
only Mario games I like are Super Mario Sunshine and Mario N64. Those are the only two I like.
Target
Why I like them, I don't know. Probably because they were the first Mario games I played and they didn't suck.
Cool. Chris?
What? Okay.
I'm just going to move on.
Yeah.
Let's...
I don't want to do that anymore.
Chris, go ahead.
How much time we got?
Go.
Plenty of time.
Just go.
Just
Yeah,
go.
Well, it
literally plenty of time.
Depends on which one I'm gonna say first.
Oh,
Pick
man.
one and that's right, Lore Master.
That's not the point.
Someone set a timer, give him 5 minutes, and let him
All right,
go.
let's do it.
right.
Timer.
Don't worry about the timer, let's go with the-
15 minutes.
I'll save
We'll
the
go
good
with the
one
short
for
ones.
last.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saving my best for last.
All right, so it wasn't. Okay.
That was
Right.
round clock, dude.
Oh, wait. Before
I
you
started
Oh,
sweating
okay.
there. My
Before you-
fingers are twitching.
Before you start, special thanks to Marquee.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
posters
Yeah,
are
they
still
have-
here.
Yep.
We got posters.
I really like that one. It's
We'll
my
ha-
favorite.
Yeah,
there'll
the
be
Kingsman
some-
poster's awesome.
It's badass.
We'll
super
put some
good.
information down below on Marquee Cinemas. And also
In
thank
the
you.
Description.
Thank you very much. I keep forgetting to mention them on my podcast. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I mentioned them on yours.
Oh yeah. Thanks for catching me there, Fudi. I appreciate it.
You're fine. I
You
got
ready,
your back.
Chris?
Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
3, 2,
Okay.
1, go.
I cannot remember if this was my first game that I actually played. When I was really young, games weren't a big thing my parents wanted me doing, which understandable. A lot of parents didn't want that. But I went to my dad went over to his friend's house, a work friend, and he brought me with him because they're doing. I think they're playing for a party or something, and I was bored.
What is it with
wasn't-
work friends and playing video
And
games
he
with their house?
had the first Xbox, and he saw how bored I was, and said, "Hey, I have this upstairs. Do you want to let your son play?" He's like, "Okay." And I got to play the original Star Wars Battlefront,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I want to have more of this, and that's kind of where it started. Now, that was actually my first serious game. I actually had the Game Boy before then, but I just was playing Game Boy games up until that point. So I've never had 3D games or anything.
Like the Perkamerch?
Yeah, I did have Perkmans.
I was not allowed to play Perkmans.
Perkamerch.
All right.
My video game backstory
Who's
is
next?
weird.
Yeah.
That wasn't even
It
Go
is
for
weird.
Jordan.
Jordan.
I'll go.
I'm disappointed.
This is. I think the next one on my list has to be Jack and Daxter, the original, on the PlayStation 2, because I have so many awesome memories of playing that game with my dad while I was growing up. That was a game that he and I would just sit down and play together for hours. It might have only been 15 minutes, but it seemed like hours when I was younger. And I just have so many good memories of that. And I think that was one of my first introductions to an open world game. And it wasn't even completely open world, but you could still go and do whatever you wanted in it, which was pretty cool. And that
Did you run over pedestrians?
no.
It's not open world.
There's no
Can you shoot arrows into people's knees?
there aren't arrows or pedestrians in that game.
Then
Can you
Oh.
hijack a helicopter and crash it into a passenger ship full of people?
Yes.
Not
in,
open world.
In the second one you can.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but it was awesome. I have so many fond memories of that game, and I think games like that are what I really love now today. Those are my favorite kinds of games. So
Yeah. I played a little bit of Jack and Daxter. I didn't.
the original one or two or
Yeah,
three?
the original one.
I never
I
played
played a
Jack and
little bit of
Daxter.
all of them. The
I haven't even heard of it.
long story.
They get weird. Like the second and third one are so
I didn't play that. Like I
crazy
literally
different from
played
the first
15
one.
minutes of each.
Yeah.
I played more Spyro in that time than anything.
Have you guys seen the ukulele?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Kickstarter?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
played
the instrument?
Wait, let me.
I
Yeah, I was
played
gonna say
Banjo
not the
and Kazooie.
instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ukulele.
I have
The
a
Kickstarter.
friend, and she plays the ukulele, and she has a couple friends who also play the ukulele.
The
and so
instrument.
she started the instrument, and she started a band called the Ukuleles. And it is
Clever.
I think that's awesome.
How many of
pretty
them
good.
are men?
It's funny.
None of them.
Wow, good name.
Yeah.
Ukuleles. That's actually really clever.
Am I up again?
I didn't even
Way
think
to
of
go,
names
Jed.
like that.
Yes.
She's probably going to be
Go
really
ahead
mad that
with
I
you.
mentioned her in this, but whatever.
No, you didn't say her name.
Say your
I
name,
don't
say
even
your
know.
address. Let's give out her bank account
She
number.
lives in
blood type.
She lives in Denver, Colorado.
Oh boy.
Her name is
Are you gonna just edit this part out?
no, she doesn't
Bob
live in Colorado.
Saget.
I'm making her name's Bob
Bob
Saget. No, her name is Jay Saget.
Sagat.
Sagat.
Jason
Jay
Scott.
Sagat.
Jason Statham.
Yeah,
The Yuka Sagats?
So
Jason Sagat
Alright,
Leno.
continue.
Yes, with you. Come on.
go.
before I actually do my second, let me throw out some quick honorable mentions that I just couldn't fit on the list.
All right, honorable mention number 1.
It's two games. It's Wing Commander.
No, don't do
Yes.
this.
Don't
We're
beat
not
the
allowed to do
table.
that.
Sorry.
Don't drum on the table. It's Wing Commander and Starlancer.
Oh yeah. Never played them, but I know about them.
Starlancer is made by the guys who did Wing Commander, and they were both just great
Is Wing
space
Commander
flight
made by
sims.
the guys
Isn't-
who made Starlancer?
Yes.
Okay.
Aren't they making
Star Citizen,
now?
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
So the pedigree is there. They're just great space flight sims. I spent many hours. I got so good at actually. Do we have it here? It's somewhere around here. My Cytec X45 flight control stick.
Oh, I can grab that right now. if
It's
you
all right.
want.
I bought so I could play Starlancer.
Well, we can say it does not work for War Thunder, but I'm sure it works great for Starlancer.
It doesn't work on any modern systems. This was back in like the Windows XP days.
I still have a Cytec joystick.
But no, I sank so many. I could play that game on the hardest difficult. I would like ramp up everything I could, and I would just crush through the game. I got so good at it.
Yep.
And then honorable mention number 2, the classic arcade games Street Fighter 2, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Heroes in a Half Shell, and X-Men.
Okay.
And Street Fighter 2 was great for competing and competitiveness, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game and the X-Men game was a co-op, so it was an Area 51, which was like a shooter, a light gun game. But all those were
Wait,
played.
the Area 51 arcade game?
Yeah,
Oh, I love that
that
one.
game was so good.
It
And
was.
Time Crisis.
Yeah, Time Crisis was
The
okay.
natural precursor to Call of Duty, everybody.
But those games are all about playing with friends, and that just had a huge impact on my view on what gaming is, and it's not just something you do by yourself; it's something you do socially and with friends. So, having said all that, my actual number 2 is also a tie between an old classic Atari game called Miner 49er and
Never heard of it.
the NES classic game Excite Bike.
Oh yeah.
You go 5 seconds, then your engine overheats.
Well, Miner 49er, as young as I was, is the first game where I ever got into score attacking, meaning you know what that high score is and you want to beat like everyone else's. And my cousins also played Miner 49er. So we just had this big competition on who could get the furthest and have the highest score.
Nice.
So that is, and I'm not as big in score attacking games like I used to be. I'm definitely not, but
Well, unfortunately, games have kind of moved away from
there are still
high
leaderboards.
score play.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of
but-
leaderboards in games.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, like, I no.
Yes, Chad?
I feel like that isn't the point of most games anymore, though, is to get the highest score. Some of them, yeah, but
Some of them.
yeah.
It depends on the game.
You played Dark Souls?
I don't know, Chad.
No,
That
no,
depends
he
on
does
whether you
not.
think I was actually playing or not.
John Litterboard?
John.
John Lennon.
John Letterboard.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, you need to watch our upcoming Let's Play, The Seed of Difficulties, in which Jordan takes on Dark Souls.
We're getting really good at advertising.
Hilarity ensues.
Getting
Lots
good
of
at next
hilarity
week.
ensues.
No, next week.
Next week.
But as I was saying, and then
next week,
Excite
that's right.
Bike, I never really liked the
Forgot what week
tracks.
this was.
What I loved about Excite Bike was it was the first game where you could actually like make the track, and so my friends and I would just spend ridiculous amounts of hours where we'd take turns making the track and then racing the tracks that each other made, and seeing who would get the best time.
I mean, I feel like Excite Bike sounds so familiar, but I don't think I've played it. I think I played like a version of it.
Well, what sounds familiar to you is there was an Excite Bike level in Mario Kart, the newest one, and
No, it
Fudi was
wasn't that.
freaking out
It
when I
wasn't
was playing
that.
it.
That's
Oh
not-
yeah, it was.
No, I know what he's talking about. Something where you have bikes and you make levels, and
There's lots of games where
That's
you
what
have
I'm
bikes.
saying.
Yeah, there
I've
are
played
lots of
something
games.
similar.
Yeah,
to
but
that.
Excite Bike
I
was
think
the
you got
original.
Trials. Yeah,
Excite Bike was the original.
Not Trials. Nothing of Trials.
Trials
It
is
was,
good
it
when
was
you
something I
get the
played as
first
a
place
kid.
position
Are
because
you
at the
thinking
end
of
of the level
Call of
you got that
Duty?
little
Yes,
the little
Call of
great
Duty.
podium
That's
thing.
right.
That's the one.
Call of Duty
Bicycle.
modern bike.
All right, so-
bike race.
Okay, quick segue. In Arma 2, and I don't know about in Arma 3, but I know in Arma 2, one of the most popular things to do was to play a sniper and spawn in a bicycle and ride the bicycle to your sniping position. And then when people started shooting at you, would bike down the hill and run away. And it was funny because they would always get in helicopters and come chase you down. Anyway,
Nice.
is it my turn?
Yes.
It's my
Yes.
turn.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're not. If you don't want to go, then
No, I'm ready. I'm
You
ready.
can
I'm
leave.
ready.
Is it my turn?
I'm gonna go ahead and just do my next two at the same time. The first one
Oh.
is Sid Meier's Civilization 4.
Oh, yeah.
That was my
yeah.
first actual game, and the way I sold it off to my parents is, Mom, look, historical, and I can play as the Italian Empire and kill people. And she was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, the Italian Empire.
So that was how I did that, because my parents for some reason didn't want me playing games. They would let me play games at friends' houses, but I never had my own console until I bought an Xbox 360 behind my parents' back and just brought it home. And then
From
after
me.
that they were just like, you know what, whatever. We tried our best. You're a failure.
I'm sorry,
Sad.
Jet's
How many-
mom.
just kidding.
I'm
How
sorry,
many
I'm such an
hours did you
enabler.
spend on that Xbox?
Not many.
Really?
No, actually, I spent a lot.
You spent
I,
a lot. Of
I spent an
hours.
You
entire
spent-
summer playing Call of Duty.
And that's why they didn't want you to have one.
Whenever a new game came out that you wanted, you would have a sick day from school.
Yeah, but then I still graduated and I still had a
Did you?
3.2 GPA. So in the
Better
end,
than I
what did
had.
it cost me? What did
Homework.
it cost me? I never did homework.
Possibly
Period.
8 points of your GPA.
Yeah, that's true.
What? They're not doing anything
I'm
for
sorry,
me now.
8/10 of a point.
They're not doing anything for me now.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, so that was one of them. And that also introduced me to the strategy genre, which moved on to RTS. The next game I bought after that was Company of Heroes 2, which I sold to my parents as, hey, look, it's World War II. I like World War II. It's history. I always had to sell it as something educational. Because my first console was a PlayStation 1. We had this bundle of homeschool games. And lo and behold, somehow, somewhere, I found a demo disc of PlayStation games, which included Metal Gear Solid, Spyro, and I played these demos for hours. Like, my mom thought, oh, he's playing educational games. I was like, yeah, right. Spyro! My mom's gonna watch this and be like, you lied to me. She knew the whole time. It was yeah. Anyway, then after that, the next one after that is more recent. I say recent. It was like beginning of high school. Was Far Cry 2. And I had played Call of Duty and I played a lot of first-person shooters, but I'd never played one that was very story-driven. And while Far Cry 2 wasn't the best, it had a really good story. It was one of the most story-driven narratives I ever played. Like, the voice acting wasn't perfect. And it wasn't...
Which one was 2?
Far Cry 2?
Yeah, which one was that?
It was Far Cry 2.
I mean, which
Setting-wise.
Setting
what was
wise.
it?
Which one
Africa.
I remember watching you play that.
Yeah.
Actually.
And it took me forever to
Did
beat
he
that
know
game
you
because
were
I had,
watching?
I
Yes.
was busy with
That's
schoolwork, and that was before I took sick days because at freshman year I still cared about school.
And then you stopped.
And then I stopped.
Stay in
'cause
school, kids.
I didn't drop out of school. I graduated. Anyway.
Stay in school, kids.
Keep saying it, Jed. Maybe
3.2
people will believe you
GPA.
eventually.
3.2. It's good. It's like B average.
Stay
Gosh.
in school, kids.
What was your GPA?
Thank you for watching
Oh,
the Across the
crap.
Table podcast.
I don't know.
Wasn't it like, I'm not even gonna say it. All right. I know his was, no. We're not going there.
We're not going there.
Anyway, but
Let's
Far
not
Cry
go
2 was
there.
one
Yeah,
of
my
those.
GPA was terrible.
Yeah, it was the first game
I
that
didn't even
that
play
I
games.
realized it was one of those games that
Terrible.
it shocked me in
Went
the way that it
school.
was played. So one of the mechanics in the game was you had malaria. you got malaria when you first entered the country, and it had this weird mechanic where in the middle of a firefight you got a malaria attack and you had to take your medicine. Oh wait, you're out of medicine, so now you have to run, hide, and get medicine, or you have to keep doing this over and over again until you succeed. And oh my gosh.
Oh.
Once I finally got past some of this, like I figured out you can start a fire and then the guys will run away from you and it gives you a chance to escape. But things like, planning your attacks on convoys and assassinating people, it was just and sneaking in at night into fortresses to take out the bad guy. It was awesome. It was one of the best games I've ever played.
I have a
one of my
question.
favorite games.
How does that compare to the more recent Far Cry's in your opinion?
Far Cry 3 was good. Far Cry 4, I feel they went back to the Far Cry 2 formula a little bit more. I like them both, but Far Cry 2 will always be my favorite.
Okay.
Far Cry 2 is just so good. I should probably do a Let's Play of that soon, just so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Well, he just ran out of game
Just so they
slots.
know. Should probably play for a whole game just so you guys know what I'm talking about.
It's a long
for
game.
a
I
minute.
might not do that. But it's a good game. It's a good
Yeah.
game.
Yes.
I recommend you play it if you have the time.
So just jumping off of something that Fudi had brought up earlier about playing games with other people. For the first few years that I was playing, I was on the Game Boy Advance, so mostly was playing by myself. Sometimes it would be like, Dad, can you do this for me? And he would do it for me. But when I got, after that, I got a GameCube. And with that, it was like a lot of multiplayer stuff. Like I just remember when my parents got me Animal Crossing for my birthday. And like everybody in my
never
family
ends.
just got
Ever.
their own house in the
Ever.
village. And we were racing to see who could,
Might as well do crack.
get their house up all the way first. And my dad did it, and he rubbed it in our faces. And he was a real jerk about it. What's wrong with you, Dad? But
It's funny because
So-
his dad subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, so
Is
he may
he?
watch
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I
didn't know that?
No.
Feel honored.
Well, now you know
Hi, Josiah's
how I
dad.
feel.
Hey,
So,
man.
but also with that, like we had a home group type thing at one point where we would all come together for Bible study on Fridays, and then the parents would keep talking, and all the kids would go to the rumpus room, which we have in Australia, which is just basically like a
So you had a
game
rum- you had a
family
rumble- you
room
had a
type
rumble
thing.
in the rumpus
rumble
room?
in the rumpus room, and we would just play like. Super Monkey Ball or
Oh, I love Super Monkey Ball.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the best games
I got
ever.
so motion sick when I played that game, though.
I remember
so much
Marble
fun.
Badness, which was like the precursor to Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
Super Monkey Ball, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have one of these precursors for every single game that we talk about.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, any game.
I have that gaming history.
But yeah, we would play that. We'd play Mario Kart,
I'm not
Double
sure if that's
Dash.
something to be proud about.
We would play
Oh, that's
like Billy Hatcher had a multiplayer thing, which was a game on the GameCube. Like they didn't do anything else with that series. We played Shrek 2, which was like the first co-op game I ever played. You could play 4 people just through the story. So yeah, I had real good time with that. Always playing with my friends.
Can I ask you a question?
No. Sorry.
Most licensed games are horrible. How was Shrek 2?
It is enjoyable.
Okay.
Like it was surprisingly good for what it was.
Okay.
Shrek is love.
No.
Shrek is life.
Please no.
I don't want that in my brain
It's
right now. I gotta go to
basically-
sleep
Small
soon.
ogre now.
It's
I didn't
a-
sleep last night. I want to sleep tonight.
So it's a 4-person brawler. So
Okay.
you just go around punching people.
All right.
And
It's hard to
donkey
get that
So
kicking.
wrong.
Castle Crashers, but with Shrek.
No.
Mm,
No.
Like Double Dragon, but with Shrek?
Sure.
What on earth is
No,
that?
it-
So
it's-
Skyrim, but with
It's
Shrek.
it's no.
weird.
Yes, it's in it
Wait,
kind
you
of like
don't
that
know
thing,
Double
but
Dragon.
3D.
Nope.
Dude, filthy
Double
casual.
Dragon.
I was sheltered
I
from
know
gaming
about Double
until I was
Dragon,
like
and I'm not even a gamer.
moved to America. I grew up in Japan,
Jeff,
and
and
I
then
wasn't
you had
allowed
time
to
to
watch.
make
You
up
grew
for
up
it.
in the home
You had
country
time to
of
make up
Double
for it.
Dragon. I know. I
What's wrong
wasn't
with
allowed
you?
to play the stuff.
Wait, you know what? I think Double Dragon was a Konami game. I need to check that.
I think so.
Konami, you're fired.
I mean, they're kind of.
You don't have the authority.
I have
firing
whatever
themselves.
authority I
Yeah,
give
they're basically
myself.
firing themselves. Sorry.
They just committed suicide as far as their gaming branches go.
We'll see, but it ain't healthy. Sorry. That's. We'll save that
It
for our
ain't healthy.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
news
Fudi,
related.
how are we doing on time?
30. About 35.
Chris,
Okay.
go. 5 minutes. Boom.
All right.
Whatever. Take as long as
For
you
my
need.
second option.
Ringo!
All right. My second option would it's a tie, but I'll go towards.
You can give them both. I did.
When I first got my Xbox, one of the games my uncle gave me was Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4.
Oh, yeah.
I clocked in so many hours
Yeah,
on
me
that
too.
game.
Yep.
I wasn't blessed enough to get to play Morrowind, but I was an Oblivion fan. The other one that I'm more leaning towards for my second option is Lego Star Wars 2.
Yes.
For the
Lego
GameCube.
Star Wars games.
Because it was
Great
one of the
game,
only
great
games that my father was more inclined to play with me on. My parents
yeah.
both see gaming as a bit of a waste of time, and I can't say I agree with them fully, but I understand that other priorities are to be had before enjoying game time. But my dad would never like join in any of the merriment of playing games until I got that game, because he likes Star Wars and he likes Legos. So we played that together. That was the only game that I remember that he and I would play together a lot, aside from certain Wii Sports. So that is a game that I hold pretty close to my heart.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Jordan.
All right, so my third is actually a mixture between two as well, and I just want to say that at least for mine, the order that I've been saying them isn't the order and how much I love them. All of these games are equally dear to my heart, and so my third is either Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time or Kingdom Hearts, and I know those games are very different.
Very different.
Very, very different. But I just, once again, those are the games that I have played the most, and I have to say they've both so incredibly impacted me as an artist as well. I have so much inspiration that I've gotten from those games and from the Kingdom Hearts aspect, the story, how complex and amazing it is, and just how lovable the characters are, and how much they really put effort into making this game something that you can connect to, and for just Ocarina of Time being what it is, like everyone knows Ocarina of Time. It's one of the, I would go as far to say, one of the most famous games ever
What's
created.
that?
Ocarina of Time? Ocarina?
Is
You
that?
know, speak
The
good.
Adventures of Link, Ocarina of
Oh,
Time.
I remember. Okay.
That's not our creation, Jay.
Wait
We
a-
can't say that.
Wait a second. Is Ocarina of Time where Navi comes in?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the most famous. It's the
It
most
is.
famous game of all time. If anything else,
It is the birth of something amazing and terrible at the same
terrible
time.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's.
I had Navi
been-
as my text tone for a while.
Yeah, you did. And every time I played, I about punched your phone out of your hand.
Yep. That was it.
Deserved.
That is how we became. That's how we became friends.
Was it?
Oh,
Was that what happened?
That was what it was.
Oh my gosh, it was. We were on the porch and that played, and he came over and said,
That's the way you said it.
Memories restored live right
"Oh,
here on the Across the Table
Ocarina of
podcast.
Time."
In case you guys didn't know, me and Chris have been friends for a while, but we couldn't for the life of us remember how it happened, and it just happened. Ah, cool beans, friendship and stuff.
I feel like something just.
I know. My mind just exploded. I'm so happy.
I mean, I
right
think
now.
that was it, wasn't it?
That was
That was
it.
the
I'm
first time
90%
we ever
sure
had
that was it.
I had Navi as my text tone. It played. You came over, said it was
I
annoying,
do.
then we just
I
started
remember when our
talking
first
about
conversation-
Zelda.
I don't
Yep.
remember our first conversation.
yep.
I remember first seeing you at the girls' table, sitting there in your trench coat.
Yeah. Yep.
He was a bit of a
Sorry
Our
about
delinquent.
first
me and
conversation
Uh-huh.
was freshman year
Yeah.
at school, and I was sitting at the girls' table, and you were as well, and you were sitting next to Brashina.
Probably either Bashir or
This
Becca,
is a good
somebody.
topic.
It was-
How we
I
all
remember
met. I
'cause it
like
was-
this. This
it
is
was-
good to end the
Is
podcast.
you end on?
Me.
Yeah, but we have games to finish.
Yeah, I had
Tessa.
one more
saw
thing
it
I
to my
wanted to
third.
talk
Well,
about.
it's
Tessa
gotta
and
save
yeah.
for the next episode.
Caitlin-
Caitlin Brown. And Caitlin Brown
ooh.
looked at us and goes, "Why is it that guys always sit with their legs open?" And you and I just looked at each other and we were like, "What do you think, idiot?"
Yeah.
It's not hard to think about.
Yeah.
Figure it out. We have something you
Jordan. Let's
Ending it
say.
there.
I think they got it.
Yeah.
I think he has some animosity towards this topic.
Maybe.
He's just kind of.
Can we table this and save how we met and friendships for another podcast?
Yeah.
We
sorry.
just,
Yeah.
it was so beautiful.
I just
was.
I had to
Yeah.
tell that story because it's really funny.
I mean, I don't
So-
disagree, but I think it deserves its own podcast. That's
That's
how
okay.
beautiful.
Okay,
I think it is.
we can
Because
say
we had a
that.
moment.
You did have a moment.
You can't
had a
relive a
moment.
moment.
Let someone else have a moment.
But at a later
All
time.
right.
Yeah.
Who are we going to next?
I'd
You.
like
Me?
to close
No,
this
it's,
out.
it's oh,
but
you want to
I
close
don't
this
have
out?
to.
Take it away.
No, you can close this out if you want.
Yeah, I think that we're about we got enough time.
All right.
Go ahead.
My pizza's getting
I wanna-
cold.
Okay.
It's already
so,
cold.
It's getting
These are
colder.
two recent games, not games from my childhood, that have impacted me a lot. Binding of Isaac
Yep.
and Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And they are very, 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 very different games. but both games are die, win.
Dead.
Okay, this game is awesome. Die. But you're okay with it for the second
Because
half
you know
of those
eventually you're
deaths.
gonna win
Because
again.
you know I can do it. Like, I've beat this before,
I
I can
couldn't
do
do
it
it.
again.
You
You didn't
could.
get to that point.
You didn't get to that
You
point.
didn't get to that
Has
point.
he gotten to
I
that
think
point with binding yet?
I've gotten to that point in binding. I think.
No.
No.
I'm enjoying
You
binding.
haven't
at
even
least,
beat
though.
Mom yet.
You're not
yeah.
even close.
You're not there.
No,
But
but
I
you're
mean, at least I'm
enjoying it.
enjoying
You're
Yeah, at least you're
enjoying it,
Oh, it's good.
but
Wait,
there's
Dark
a,
Souls was just stress.
you're enjoying it. You haven't mastered
played
it
it
yet.
after
You
you
gotta
played
get to
it,
that
and it
point
wasn't
where
that
it's
hard.
like,
It's the
okay,
beginning
I
of the
know I can
game.
get past Mom.
When I master Binding of Isaac, then
to
we
it.
won't have a Let's Play of it anymore.
No,
Yeah,
then we can do
pretty much.
Josiah
I do play it.
teaches Jordan Dark Souls.
Yes. I fully approve of this thought.
Yeah, go Jed.
But,
Dang things, brain work.
Dang it.
Basically, and this is something that's like affected me outside of video games as well, and teaching me to stick with things even when they suck, because for those of you who don't know, which is most of you probably, I'm a writer, but a lot of the time I'm writing, I don't like writing because I'm good with I get the initial idea, I'm like, that's funny, I'm gonna write about that. I'm good with the cleanup process where it's like adding more jokes and stuff, but the sitting down and like, I gotta write this sentence, and now I gotta write this sentence, and here's the next
Sentences
sentence.
are the bane of the writer's existence.
It's like you gotta
They
stick
are.
with it even when it sucks, and then you'll like. I appreciate the fact that I stuck with Binding of Isaac because now I'm good at it. I'm good at it.
He's really
Alright.
good at it.
Ridiculously good at it.
As-
Oh, you know what else he's good at? Super Meat Boy. Maybe we can have a Josiah
Way better than
teaches
Jed.
Jed.
Okay, wait.
Super Meat
Can
Boy.
I was
before
getting the
before
hang
we
of
close
it.
out, can I
You-
pose
you know
an
that.
idea about this?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So we've had the seated difficulties where
Stupid
we each
idea.
play a game where we
Oh, dang!
where
Shut
we
down
each have
early.
played a game that we're not typically good at.
Oh wait, go.
If things if things go well, what if we have a show where we each play a game that what we think that we're good at, and then everybody else can judge us
And
for
everybody
it.
goes, ooh.
No, I said a
man.
game that we think that we're good
That
at,
would
and then
be-
everybody judges
That
us
would
for
be
it.
the worst. So
actually,
when I
like-
say I'm good at Isaac, I'm
The
never
seed
gonna.
of Impressicaries?
No, I would never do that because
And
then
that's
people
what we
would be
have to
like,
do
"Wait,
it.
you're not good at it."
And that's why we have to do it.
So,
Well,
like,
no.
if I
Yeah.
play Call of Duty,
I've watched you play Call of Duty. You're not bad.
so, like, if I play War Thunder,
Wait, you already play
you're-
War Thunder.
you already
played
You
War
do
Thunder.
play
On the
War
show,
so, like,
Thunder,
a lot.
Jed.
if I play Adventure Capitalist,
No,
You'll never
Nobody
beat
wants
my
to
score.
I know.
But that's just a matter of time, because you've played it longer than he has.
Yeah, if you get sick and you can't make it to your computer, oh boy, I'm surging
Civ
ahead.
5. Jeb, I want to see you play Civ 5.
You
I
want
would
to
love-
see me
I'd like to play
play
Let's
Civ
Play
5?
with you.
Well, see, there you go. We can have him play
I
Civ
like
5.
Civ- I like let's Civ 5.
Let's play.
Let's
Let's
on
Civ
time.
together.
We're getting long.
Okay.
So it's you and then
Just
me.
close it out.
Podcast
No,
long
go ahead
time.
and go you. And
With
then
me?
Yeah.
All right.
You're number
My
one.
final game it's one of my first, but it's not necessarily my favorite game. For the Game Boy Color, Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons.
Oh, is that the sequel to?
Oracle of Ages and Seasons were made at the same time.
They were.
Thank you.
I've been playing those on the DS. My brother got them on the eShop.
There you go.
They're pretty good.
Well, I had it early on. Like I said before, Color was my first, actual game system. So I've had it, never beat it, but recently, within the past few years, when my grandfather was in the hospital with cancer, I decided to take my Game Boy with me to the hospital that he was out. He was down somewhere in Texas. I won't say where. Actually, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, while I was waiting, because we had long spans of waiting before we were allowed to see patients, because that's how hospitals work, I was playing my Game Boy Color, getting some old memories going on, and I actually beat the game, but a few months later he passed. So I
have that
I guess it's bad,
Emotional
but
connection.
I have that I've accidentally have associated that with that game, so I haven't played it since then. But it is a game that when I was playing when I was younger had a profound effect on how I wanted to play video games. Like this, I'm like, this is fun, so I want to try more video games, and that's kind of where it went from there. And then again, recently, as we're classifying these as games that have profound effects on us, I do associate it with some sad times too, because I actually finally beat it during that time. So,
That's fair.
Yeah. Games aren't always just about fun times.
Nope. No.
well, I mean, they're just like
Yeah.
any form of media,
Yeah.
books, movies. You can associate with a certain point in your life, and I just,
And also help you to just relax.
Yeah.
And have a good time.
I mean, it was awesome in that time of sadness. It was awesome to beat a game that I've had since I was little. Just again,
Had you ever beaten it before?
No, I hadn't. That was the first time I beat it. Was when I'm in Texas.
That's cool.
I beat a game in Texas.
Well,
There we
you
go.
There's an achievement.
Yeah,
Achievement unlocked.
Texas.
Jinx, me stuff.
No, I don't.
I jinxed you. You do.
He
No, I
jinxed you.
don't.
I would really, really
If we
appreciate
say
it.
You want
Matt,
a soda.
Wild
the jinx
cherry
is gone.
Pepsis.
Just get him an off-brand.
I'll give you one of those.
Use me a soda.
All right. So for my last one, it is again also two, and one of them actually came up. I think when Chris was talking, Wii Sports.
What?
Yeah, the
Interesting.
stock game that came with the Wii Sports
I
game.
mean, I've had a great time with that.
well,
I was just surprised. Sorry.
no, like emotional attachment and memories. That's the first game I've played with my family.
Oh.
Like my family's not into gaming at all. I mean,
So, like, my
some
family.
of my younger cousins and stuff are, but my parents and my grandparents or my grandmother, we've all played Wii Sports together. Like we played Wii Bowling and all those little dumb fun kids games that come out with the stock Wii. We've spent hours playing them as a family, and I mean, it's been like it's the first time that we've had that.
That's awesome.
So there's that, and then you guys already know this is coming. Number one influential game for me is StarCraft.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah.
We knew that was coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the days of LAN partying with my friends, and it's funny because when I'm doing game reviews, I notice I always associate the music, but I think everything I've mentioned today, it's always been associated with my interactions with people, whether it be score attacking with friends or co-op gaming at the arcade, or I guess now just on our computers. But
Well, two of my choices were about that too.
but yeah, for me, StarCraft was the first game where, like, we would get together and LAN parties where we'd all be physically in someone's house, which was always an interesting event when there's like 8 of us or 9 of us or 10 of us all crammed into a house with our computers. And this was before the days of flat screen
that reminds
monitors.
me, I have a LAN party this weekend.
Congratulations.
Counter-Strike.
We're happy for you.
We're happy for you. But this was before the days of flat screen monitors. So we would all be hauling in our big towers and our heavy CRT monitors up a flight of stairs, hooking it all up, running extension cords throughout. This is at my friend Opie's house.
Those things were as heavy as cannonballs.
Yeah, and we would be running extension cords from like 3 different rooms in his house because when we tried to all plug into his room, we would shut the entire circuit system down. And then
Congrats.
we would play all night, and StarCraft was prominently featured. It was probably our main game. And that was because I gamed on the early systems and then kind of got out of it with the exception of the NES, SNES, but kind of gotten out of gaming, and StarCraft was the game that really brought me back in. And, play with my friends. And we'd have other games, we'd play Doom, we'd play Quake, all those classic first-person shooters. But at some point, Serious Sam, but at some point during the night, it would always come back to StarCraft. And we may have had a hacked copy of Brood Wars before it came out from a beta test that we all played, but I'm not going to admit to that. Just maybe. Hypothetical situation. So, Blizz, if you want to send me a beta copy of Legacy of the Void.
Well, they aren't
You
going to
really,
now.
really, really would make him happy.
Really.
If you did, we wouldn't see him for a month.
I wouldn't have to clean my room for a year. Think
does
about
your
all the
mom?
time I could do with not cleaning.
Yes.
Yeah, well, actually.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Big brother.
I hate you guys so much.
I don't live here, so
Clean your
You're
room,
one of the few
Christopher.
people that don't,
he's more
Chris.
like a brother to
I
me than a
also do
mom.
not
So
live here.
You do occasionally.
but yeah, anyway,
Sometimes.
guys.
actually, no, he's more like a cool uncle.
StarCraft,
Yeah.
and actually, I would love if someone wants to pick up the mantle, they just give someone a crash, like as a show, give someone a crash course on here's how you play StarCraft. Yes,
I would-
I'm looking at you as I'm saying this.
I would love to learn how to play StarCraft.
All right,
Chris,
you
you're the
guys,
last
there
one.
we go.
Oh, nose goes.
But
Chris
you're
already
the last
said he'd
one.
like to.
Well,
Oh,
I
great.
was
Suck it,
nose
guys.
ghosting for the teacher.
Nose has gone.
I suck at teaching games.
Okay. Well, that's all the time that we have for today on the Across the Table podcast.
We went over, and it's mostly my fault. I'm very sorry.
I don't know.
Oh,
Podcasts are
no.
supposed to be
This-
long. I feel like we
It's
did
fine.
good this time. I like this new format.
It's okay to
let us
have.
know what you think about the new format. We do this because A, we love it, and B, we want to make something that you guys enjoy. So
Yeah. Do you have a topic for next week?
I do.
You want to share it?
Nope. I'm going to let that be a surprise next time on the Across the Table podcast.
Who
That's-
knows what'll happen?
That's not much of a teaser.
We do this as much for your entertainment as it is for
Ours.
as ours and how much we want to do.
And
it.
we do
so-
entertain ourselves.
So half of this is all for you guys, and so your support and your feedback really does mean a lot to
Yeah.
us, and we'd love to hear what you guys think. So leave a comment or a like or dislike, whatever you think, and thank
If
you
you
so
hate
much
us,
for
tell
watching.
us.
Yeah,
We'd like to know.
we would like to know.
We probably won't
Share us
care,
with your
but,
friends.
we'd like to know.
We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, and we're thinking of maybe doing a festivity when we get there.
Maybe.
Festivity.
Well, thank you all so
so-
much for watching. Couldn't do this without you guys, and we will see you guys next time on Blue Cup Gaming and Beyond the Blue Cup.
Woo!
Cheers.